Hey guys, so Allie and I have been talking and we have decided that Antigone was pretty good. So we think that there's something that we can pull out of this, maybe. So first off, in case you don't know the story of Antigone, we're going to give you a little summary of the background, and then maybe we'll act some out.
Yeah.
Sounds like a cool plan. So, Allie, what's kind of the backstory?
So to start off with, it's the same characters as Oedipus, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And so there's two brothers, and they're fighting the city of Thebes.
For the crown, right?
For the crown.
And so,
Creon's crown.
yeah, this one brother, he comes and he attacks the city because it's rightfully his to be like the king now, I think.
Yeah.
Right? And so they end up killing each other.
Yeah.
So then Creon, who
is actually the uncle of Oedipus.
Yeah.
No, the uncle of Antigone.
Antigone. Yeah, he becomes king then, and he decides that what the one brother who attacked the city did was like really bad, and so he decides
Basically treason.
yeah, it was treason. So he basically is like, you can't bury him, which first of all is like this huge mortification.
Yeah, in
like,
Greek culture, that was basically the worst insult you could do, was to
Because,
not bury someone.
like,
You're basically saying you can't go to the proper place in the underworld, which is not good.
that's kind of very bad. So then these two brothers, they have the sister Antigone, who's the one of the main characters in this book, who's named after, or a play is named after, and she is like not happy about this. She is
Justifiably, she's really upset when one of her brothers is like decreed by order of the king not to be buried. So she ends up sneaking out in the middle of the night to perform these burial rites on him, which upsets Creon a lot.
Yeah, because Creon, he's kind of he's a character. He has this pride thing going on, I think, a little bit. And so he is not cool with Antigone, like, breaking the law at all.
Yeah.
And he cannot see her point of view in any way, and Antigone can't see Creon's.
Yeah, they just can't get along.
Yeah, and then there's this whole thing between Haman, my favorite character, and he's sassy.
He's engaged to Antigone, by the way.
Yes, he is. And he and his father get into this whole argument thing, my favorite conversation in any of the texts that we read this semester. And it's a thing, so yeah, we're gonna show you we're gonna act out a few little clips from this, and then we'll say what was the point of this. I mean, what's the moral of this story? What can we pull out of it to apply to our lives in the church today?
Yeah.
So enjoy. More than my arrest and execution?
Nothing. I have it all.
Then why delay? Your moralizing repels me, every word you say. Pray God it always will. So naturally, all I say repels you too. Enough. Give me glory. What greater glory could I win than to give my own brother decent burial? These citizens here would all agree. They would praise me too if their lips weren't locked in fear. Lucky tyrants, the perquisites of power. Ruthless power to do and say whatever pleases them.
You alone of all the people in Thebes see things that way.
They see it just that way, but defer to you and keep their tongues in leash.
And you, aren't you ashamed to differ so from them? So disloyal.
Not ashamed for a moment. Not to honor my brother, my own flesh and blood.
Wasn't Oedipus a brother too, cut down, facing him?
Brother, yes. By the same mother, the same father.
Then how can you render his enemy such honor, such impieties in his eyes?
He will never testify to that. Oedipus dead and buried.
He will, if you honor the traitor just as much as him.
But it was his brother, not some slave that died.
Ravaging our country, but Oedipus died fighting on our behalf.
No matter. Death longs for the same rights for all.
Never the same for a patriot and a traitor.
Who, Creon, who on earth can say the ones below don't find this pure and uncorrupt?
Never. Once an enemy, never a friend, not even after death.
I was born to join in love, not to hate. That is my nature.
Go down below and love, if love you must. Love the dead. While I'm alive, no woman is going to lord it over me. So men our age are to be lectured, are we? Schooled by a boy his age?
Only in what is right. But if I seem young, look less to my years and more to what I do.
Do? Is admiring rebels an achievement?
I'd never suggest that you admire treason.
Oh, isn't that just the sickness that's attacked her?
The whole city of Thebes denies it to a man.
And is Thebes to tell me how to rule?
Now you see who's talking like a child.
Am I to rule this land for others or myself?
It's no city at all owned by one man alone.
What? The city is the king's. That's the law.
What a splendid king you'd make of a desert island. You and you alone.
This boy, I do believe, is fighting on her side, the woman's side.
If you are a woman, yes, my concern is all for you.
Why, you degenerate, bandying accusations, threatening me with justice, your own father.
I see my father offending justice. Wrong.
Wrong? To protect my royal rights?
Protect your rights when you trample down the honors of the gods?
You, the soul of corruption, rotten through, woman's accomplice!
That may be, but you will never find me accomplice to a criminal.
That she is, every word you say, a blatant appeal for her.
And you and me and the gods beneath the earth.
You will never marry her, not while she's alive.
Then she will die, but her death will kill another.
What brazen threats? You go too far.
What threat? Combating your empty, mindless judgments with a word?
You'll suffer for your sermons, you and your empty wisdom.
If you weren't my father, I'd say you were insane.
Don't flatter me with father, you women's slave.
You really expect to fling abuse at me and not receive the same?
Is that so? Now by heaven, I promise you you'll pay. Taunting, insulting me. Bring her out, that hateful... She'll die now, here, in front of his eyes, beside her groom.
No, she will never die beside me. Don't delude yourself. And you will never see me. Never set eyes on my face again. Rage your heart out. Rage with friends who can stand the sight of you. So hopefully you guys kind of enjoyed that a little bit. Seeing the angry side of Allie. It's pretty fun. So anyways, now that we got past that part, if it was painful or enjoyable, I don't know. That's up to you. But anyways, we have a little moral to this. Like, what was the point of that? So we pulled out of this that, you know, you saw this conflict between Creon and Antigone, and then
and
just
between Haman
and Haman and Creon, and they're all just like so set in their mindset,
their direct views. They cannot understand or care to understand anyone else's.
Yeah, and so it completely breaks apart this family and this community. And we've seen even in the church today, like, that can happen.
Yeah.
When you fail to truly communicate, okay, they're communicating, but is that true communication?
That's not really.
No, they're not open to one another. They're not open to trying to understand each other.
They need to understand each other with more charity.
Yes, exactly. We bring in that one of those virtues.
Virtues.
Yeah.
Christian virtues.
Christian virtues, yes. Charity, which is so important in our Christian lives today. And so with that virtue of charity, if we think that if Antigone and Creon and Haman could have taken on that virtue, maybe things would have ended differently.
Yeah.
You know, if we can open ourselves up to, you know, like, not being so stuck in our own minds and our own mindsets, and being open to, like, listening to someone and trying to understand where they're coming from, like, how different could that be? Like, what a difference that could make in the Christian community. Bring unity, bring just charity and love, peace, to the world. Like,
yeah, I mean, just that idea of, like, accepting and taking the time to comprehend other people's point of view is so vital.
Yeah, so we think that this text really gives you just a picture of, like, what can happen when you don't have that.
Yeah.
And serve as a challenge to the Christian community. You know, we have to love others. We have to be able to see where other people are coming from and find compromise and find love and friendship even when we disagree on things.
Yeah.
So, hope you guys enjoyed. See ya!